Hey there, Capricorn. How you doing today? Excuse me. My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekly reading. This one is going to be for, where are we at? November 3rd to November 6th, right? That's Monday through Thursday. I should be back on Wednesday to do bonus readings to get you through the weekend. Alrighty, that was the whole intro. Let's see what we got here for my Capricorns. Okay, for Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Alrighty, from the top, let's see. Okay, we're going to open it up with the Page of Wands. Okay, so Page of Wands, followed by the Eight of Cups, and the challenge position is the Two of Swords. Okay, so this is your backstory or your recent past going into this reading. Page of Wands. Page of Wands is like a free spirit. It's somebody who's out to meet new people, see new things, somebody who's not necessarily not very experienced in the world in some ways, but they're trying to be. They're trying to learn more about people and situations, okay? So this seems to be how you're presenting in the recent past. So somewhat naive, but definitely open to new experiences. Lost my voice. Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about walking away from something. Something that you still have emotion towards, or something that you aren't necessarily done with, or that's how you feel. But it's no longer serving you. It's no longer in alignment with you, and it's holding you back from getting to where you need to be. Okay? So in the recent past, it looks to me like you were presenting as this Page of Wands, and you had to walk away from something that you weren't quite done with, or that you didn't think you were through learning from. It was no longer in alignment with whatever you were trying to get to, though, as a goal. But the Two of Swords, that's the challenge. So the challenge became making the decision to walk away from this thing we're talking about. It wasn't easy. This could be a job. It could be a friendship. It could be a lot of different, it could even be a way of thinking. But whatever it was, it had to be left in the past so that you could continue to pursue wherever it was you wanted to go. All right, let's see where we go from here. So currently, where are you at? I've got the Queen of Cups, the Sun, and the Four of Wands. So the Sun is going to end up being the card at the center of your entire read. The Sun is considered the happiest card in the deck. It is all about happiness and joy. It can also be all about illuminating things to you that possibly you didn't see before now. But we're dealing with the current right now. You're presenting as the Queen of Cups, so you are nurturing, you're loving, you are very maternal in some ways. You're intuitive all the way to possibly being psychic. You are also somebody who's incredibly empathetic, sometimes to your detriment. At times you can be too empathetic and sometimes try to excuse people's bad behavior. Queen of Cups is also somebody who is known to have a very hard time holding up her boundaries at times. You know, she doesn't want to upset anybody, and she doesn't want anybody to get mad or leave, so sometimes she will sacrifice herself or her boundaries for somebody else. That's all if she's in her good side, but anyways. Okay, so we have you presenting here as the Queen of Cups. The Sun is saying that you have found a sense of happiness, and also that things, when I said in the first row, in the past you were somewhat naive. At this point, it seems that that has all been changed. Everything has been illuminated to you, so now you know what is going on around you, it looks like, or have a better grasp on it. Okay, the challenge in this row is the Four of Wands. For some reason, the challenge here is somebody who is a higher level soulmate to you. So possibly you have managed to find somebody who is a higher level soulmate to you. And I get the feeling with the Queen of Cups on this side that there is an issue here with them crossing your boundaries or something. But it looks like you're still happy, so I don't know what the... Okay, so be it. Okay, let's keep going. So far it doesn't look bad. Okay, what do we got in the near future? I've got the King of Swords, okay, Judgment, and the High Priestess. Okay, so the King of Swords is not you. Okay, I have you firmly standing in your feminine here as the Queen of Cups. So I'm feeling like the King of Swords is whoever this higher level soulmate is to you. This person is coming through as somebody who is very intelligent, very, very logical, very... He's a lot of things, what he is, or she is a lot of things, whatever, whichever way it goes, but they are not somebody who is very much so letting emotions into their situation. They try to look at everything like Spock from Star Trek, very analytical, very logical, right? They can come across as being quite cold at times. Normally, they also deal with life, though, from a sense of integrity and honesty. So that's the plus, right? That's a good part. The next card over is Judgment. So you feel like this in the near future, you're feeling as though this person is being very judgmental of some part of your life, some part of you. It feels like they're judging you, or that's how you're perceiving it. The next card over, the challenge here is the High Priestess. So the challenge here is, number one, you staying very quiet. So when things go left or whatever, when this person starts to judge you for things that maybe they don't even have a good understanding about, you're not somebody who's going to jump up and defend yourself, it looks like. Like your defense is the silent treatment, or to stay quiet. And that is becoming a challenge here, because if you don't open the lines of communication, you're going to cause bigger problems. Okay, what do we got on the bottom? I've got the Four of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Four of Swords is speaking of you needing time to heal. You're needing time to heal from whatever this judgment situation is down here, it looks like. Five of Pentacles, after this person calls judgment on you and you fail to communicate what's going on or that they're wrong, it looks like it causes a rift between the two of you that makes it so that you are feeling very left out in the cold, very much so like you no longer fit into this situation. And it's because they didn't take the time to understand what was going on, the whole picture. On the flip side, though, this is somewhat your fault because you're not standing up for yourself and telling them what's going on. It's kind of a two-way street here. Ace of Pentacles would say that there's some sort of a new opportunity. The new opportunity is going to be for you to communicate, and so that you can try to correct this situation, I think. There we go. What else we got? I've got the Lovers, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Pentacles. It looks like whatever this episode is that's coming in the near future with this whole judgment situation, it really shakes this particular union. I mean, I'm not saying it throttles it, but it shakes it pretty good. The Wheel of Fortune is like, this is happening because it needs to happen, because either you two have to evolve into a situation where you have better communication and you can straighten things out, or you have to let this go. You can't stay in this, because this is doing nothing but hurting you, and it's not fair for them to be judged for hurting you because you're not telling them they're hurting you. So you're being hurt and they're being hurt in different ways, but it's affecting you all. It's affecting everything. So anyways, this is the Wheel of Fortune trying to spin in your favor, even though I'm sure it doesn't feel like it. The Seven of Pentacles is here because this is you trying to figure out whether or not you still want to invest here, and if you do, how much. Okay, wait a minute, let's run. Monday, you've got the Strength card and the Page of Cups. You're feeling somewhat weak on Monday. It's over the fact that you had unrealistic expectations as far as what could happen with this situation. Tuesday, I have the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Wands. You are standing in a position where you can have whatever you want if you set your mind to it, but you're feeling very wounded, and for that reason, you're just kind of pulling inside of yourself. Wednesday, I have Temperance and the Queen of Pentacles. Wednesday, you're taking a much better stance of everything and trying to be patient. And Thursday, I've got you with the Three of Wands and the Knight of Swords. So by Thursday, you're trying to gain clarity as well as give clarity on situations and look towards your future. I do not see this as something that's going to rip you two apart, but I do see it as something that's happening so that you can push you two to evolve to a place where you can communicate better. That needs to happen so that the two of you can actually grow. That's what's trying to happen here. I know it feels like it's just a bunch of whatever, but it is. You have to communicate what you're feeling, wanting, and needing. You can't just expect people to know. And I think if you can do that, then this person will be receptive, okay? But it's not their fault if you don't tell them, okay? That's what I see. I hope this somehow helps you. All right, Capricorn, have a good one. Me and the clicker.